Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kyrus Has Friends, the show where I sit down with the people that matter to me the most, and those people are my friends. Before we get started today with our very special guest, if you like me, you can feel free to follow me on my social media platforms. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on Snapchat and on TikTok, as long as it doesn't get banned. At Kyrus Keenan. And if you want, you can visit my website at thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. You can also get your Vibe with Kai merchandise, your t-shirts, your hats, your whatever your little heart desires. We have it. Go to my website, thevibewithkai.com. Get your stuff. But enough about me. Enough about me and my shameless plugs. I'm sitting here with somebody that forced her way into this interview. That's not true. I always wanted to have her on. She is, and I'm going to read this title. I'm going to read it like verbatim here. I want to make sure I get it right.
Yes, please.
I'm sitting here with my friend who is Conservative Femininity-ist Commedienne. Yeah?
Exactly right. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm sitting with my friend LeeMariahRose out of East Houston-ish, Texas. Hi, LeeMariahRose.
Hi, Kai.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. And it's Conservative Femininity-ist Commedienne. But just for you, I actually took a whole bunch of words out of my title.
Go. Well, I want the whole title. Give it to me. Let's go.
Texan American Conservative Femininity-ist Commedienne. But you have to
So the only thing you took out was Texas?
Texan American.
Texan American. Okay. Yes. All right. Are you one of those people that feel like that Texas should be its own country?
Yes.
Yeah. Like for real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like you would vote for like the annexation of Texas.
You know, every year it's on our ballot. Yes. Believe it or not. So it's like, you know, if we ever would have to leave the union, would you be for it or against it? I'm always like,
yeah, you want out, but the United States is doing so well. I don't understand.
Well, but Texas is doing so much better than the rest.
Is it?
See, here's the thing about Texans.
Uh-huh.
No matter what, we'll always say we're doing better than the rest of the world.
Okay. So, well, I'm curious. Do you feel Texan American comedian femininity-ist? Do you feel that Texas is doing way better than the rest of the United States?
Yes.
Okay.
However.
Okay, here it comes. I'm ready.
We always think that they were doing better than the rest of the union.
Okay, so better than New Jersey.
I don't even know how that
works. Tread carefully.
No offense.
Oh, here we go.
But I don't understand how New Jersey and Texas were even in the same conversation just now.
You don't understand how Texas and New Jersey were in the same conversation in regards to what?
This conversation right now.
But so you're saying that oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying that Texas will never be on the same epic level as New Jersey. So you're saving you're protecting your heart. I get it. I understand.
No, New Jersey is like the Florida of
wow, I don't even want to hear the end of that sentence. You stop it right there.
All right, just as long as we all know.
You do not bring Florida. You do not bring Florida into this.
All right, so let's leave our respective best dates ever.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's just agree that Florder is not the best Florida. At least we're on the same stage.
If you ever need to if you ever feel bad,
yeah,
just understand you can go and and Google Florida man,
oh, no.
And then there's so much there that you could just go, my life is not that terrible.
You do realize that I now just lost all of my Florida viewership, all of it. They're all, you know what? Screw this. I'm out. I'm done.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of Floridians on this other app of mine, and they're like, what is your problem with Florida? And I was like, do you live there? So they're
Fair
like,
enough.
Yeah, but not all Florida people are like that. And I'm like, well, you have a lot of people that are like the Florida man.
That's
every
fair.
week.
I have a question for you. LeeMariahRose. How are you doing? How are you doing in pandemic world? How are you holding up? How has it been? Quarantine, raising children. You know, what is it like for you?
Well, so for us, everything shut down in March.
Yes.
And so it started coincidentally.
Oh, here we go.
There's coincidentally, but there's no such thing as coincidences. It's just God's way of staying anonymous. But anyway, so my kids were on their way to the ranch with their grandmother for spring break. And so I thought, oh, I have some time, turn up. And then I slowly, surely saw everything start to shut down.
Yes.
And when they shut down the rodeo, and then I was
like the rodeo, like an actual rodeo.
Yeah, it's the Texas livestock and rodeo show.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the biggest, best ever. Anyway, so when they decided to shut that down, I went, oh my God, this is serious.
Okay.
So I was at home for a few days, just trying to think about if I wanted to come to the East Texas with my family, or am I going to take this all serious? And so I didn't at first.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is all fake. This is all planned. Alex Jones told us.
Oh man.
And then I got here and I started seeing everything, and I was like, oh, okay. So the first month of quarantine was okay because I'm a homebody usually.
Sure.
So social distancing, I made it cool before it was called social distancing. I would stay away from people. I don't do crowds, any of that stuff. So people are like, why do you care about the rodeo? Would you have gone? And I'm like, no, I have extreme anxiety.
But you knew how popular it was in Texas, and you saw when that got shut down. It was like, oh, this is real.
This is real. Yeah.
Yes.
So for the first month, I got it. Mm-hmm. Then the second month, I was like, okay, this is too much.
Right.
I lived with my parents. I decided to move. So I moved from Houston, right outside of Houston, to here in East Texas. Mm-hmm. And I lived with my mom and dad for the entire time. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I went back home for a little bit, and I was like, oh, I'm going back to my parents' house. I can't take this, but but my mom and I we're two women where it's like we're grown people, so we can't really live together for very long.
Okay.
So
you're just going to keep bouncing back and forth?
Well, I'm on the guest house that's
I see.
near their house. Yeah. So
okay. So you have some space.
Like uppity, but yeah.
Yeah, you have some space. That's understandable.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It was really hard, and I still never truly believed any of what was going on, the numbers. I was like, that's all fake. Mm-hmm. Until two people from our church, they got the coronavirus, COVID-19 or novel virus, whatever they're calling it. So when they got it, then I realized, oh, this is serious. And then then more people that I know personally getting personally affected. Then it was really hard. But it was, I think, during these times, it's really hard to keep positive. And that's what I've noticed. So there was a lot of, so I was fine, although it was a struggle with depression and anxiety and feeling, when is this going to be over? Is this going to be normal?
Is that something that you've had to deal with for most of your life, or just recently?
In terms of depression and anxiety? For most of my life, but I would say probably I started to realize that depression, there's this weird depression thingy that I have, maybe. I was like, I don't know why, I just driving down the road and I just start crying.
I get that.
Yeah.
I completely understand that.
It was something that started more so after I had my first daughter.
How old is she now?
Lola is 8. So I have a 7 and an 8-year-old.
Oh, well, back to back, huh?
Yeah, well, I was like, I'm already have this weight on me, so I was like,
yeah. You don't want to go for the 3-peat like Jordan and the Bulls? No.
No. I mean, that's because I was like, I just lost all my baby weight, and then when I started to lose my baby weight, that's when my marriage started to end.
I see. Right.
So yeah, so the depression thing was something that was always there, but
you seem like a fighter. You seem like somebody that finds a way to always, push forward, despite the odds. Is that how has that been for you? You kind of were alluding to this during, COVID-19. Do you find it more difficult now during during this pandemic, or do you find that you're getting stronger because of it?
Well, I think because of COVID-19, I feel that I've learned a lot about myself by being alone.
Yeah.
And
I understand
that. And then seeing how my words and my thoughts, my feelings, all of that kind of stuff, it can really impact someone else. And for a moment, I know there was a time where I actually felt like I lost faith. And I lost hope. And I went through that, and I was just, I think I was like crying all the time. And I was like, this is just not the America that I know. The governor of Texas is not being Texan right now. I can't go and tell him about himself. And it was like, then I had to sit back and realize, Leola, it's going to be okay. And this has happened before. You can get over it. You just got to take every single thing that every single thing that I felt before has always been there. It's just a different circumstance.
Sure.
So I just take that and twist it around to make it not just a story of woe, but something where it's just like, remember that time we're in the pandemic?
Right.
Back in not something. Like, I just make a joke of it that way anyone who's around me can at least feel a little bit better.
Right. Do you feel hopeful? I feel like it's hard, and to what you were saying earlier about how it's hard for people to find, to find that positivity now. Like, there is a lot of negativity that's out there right now. Do you feel hopeful? With not just how things are going now, but just like, where things can end up after this is all said and done. Are you hopeful with this?
Yes. One thing with hope, hope is something that stays with you always. And I have something with, when it comes to, it's something that my dad and he and I were talking, and because I told him how I was so happy, and this was about 4 years ago, because recently, I think I spoke about it, but I recently in July celebrated 4 years of sobriety.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. So after I had my ex and I, after we separated, and I came right out here on the ranch. That's my go-to spot. And I told my dad said, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm actually pretty great.
Good.
And he's like, why? And I said, I don't know. It's just I have this joy that no matter what, it's just here. And he said, well, remember this feeling and don't take a recess from it. I was like, don't take a recess from your joy. And he's like, yeah, no matter what, because you know what's on the other side of that. So with hope, and the same thing with joy and faith, you have to continue to hold on to those, because once you lose hope and faith, then your joy, what really do you have?
Right.
Like, what is the point of waking up? How can you look at people around you and say, hey, how are you doing? To you, it's just like, I'm just here until somebody kills me or something. You have to make sure that you find your place, your joy, and hold on to it like it's a banana or something. I couldn't think of anything.
I'll go with that. We'll go with banana. We'll go with banana. That's fine.
Yeah, just like Good for cramps, and since you work out. So.
Well, one of the things that stood out to me about you the most is like it's really interesting to hear this side of you, because a lot of what I've seen of you is and I love this, quite goofy, fun, outgoing, you know, like just silly, you know, that, which is like fun. And I know that for me, that's what caught my eye. So to hear this side of you is really interesting. So, I mean, I have to ask, your silliness and your goofiness, you know, does it stem from where you've been? And is this a way of like, is it therapeutic for you? Because I love it. I think it's hilarious. It's funny. Like whenever we like snap back and forth and you're just being a goofball, I'm like, she's hilarious. I love this.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you know, she is an adult too. No, it all started back when I decided to stop drinking. Mm-hmm. And then after I started, because when I stopped drinking, I thought I was going to lose my funny, because but I didn't realize that people weren't laughing at my jokes. They were laughing at me, because apparently I'm clumsy anyway. So mm-hmm. Clumsy plus alcohol. Ooh,
right. Hilarious. Just not a good combination. Then.
Yeah. So then, when I moved in with my parents, I kept on finding myself in arguments all the time with people. Like no one was understanding me, or like everyone was just mad at me all the time. And so I was like, so I decided to rebrand myself as a comedian.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so once I did that, then I was like, oh, I could just be myself now. Yes. And then if someone gets mad at me, I'm like, I'm a comedian.
I'm just a comedian. That's just
I'm just being super sarcastic. That's the way I sound. I'm not calling you stupid, but what you're saying is stupid.
Is there a specific like type of comedy that you enjoy? Like, do you prefer stand-up, sketch comedy, like whatever type of comedy, writing, whatever it is there a specific type that you like or that you tend to gravitate towards?
The kind of comedy that I love is it's stand-up, mm-hmm. and it's storytelling, that type of comedy where you're following a comedian throughout their story.
Those are my favorite types of comedians. 100%.
Red Fox. Mm-hmm. He's one of my favorites.
I was going to ask who your favorite comedians were, so I'm glad you bring this up.
Red Fox and Seinfeld, just because his voice. And then,
what does it do with food? I mean, come on.
Exactly. It's just the way he speaks. It's like, you're driving in a car.
You're in a car. You're in a car.
So
that's an awful. Wait, pause. That's an awful Seinfeld impression. But I did it. I was committed.
You have to don't like, if you stop, then you know that you did something wrong. But if you continue to do it, then it's like, that's what I did. Yeah. Like, can you imagine? A lot of times when I mess up something, I'm always like, no, I'm going with this. I'm taking this.
Yes. I'm just going with it. I committed to it. I'm just going to go for it. Absolutely.
No one's looking at me, and I'm like, they didn't know.
Do you find yourself being goofy when you're by yourself as well?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And so every once in a while I'm like, Leola, like that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Or I'll call myself, because I'm not crazy.
I know you're not.
Okay, so one time.
No, am I gonna think that you are crazy after you tell the story?
So no, sometimes I kind of sort of talk to myself.
That's fair. I do it all the time.
So when I have to talk to myself, sometimes I call myself my daughter's name, and then I'll be like, that's not your name. And so it ends up looking like I have an entire conversation.
That's fair. So, here's the thing. I'm going to make you feel better, because anybody that's sitting here watching this saying, oh, she's crazy, that's weird. They're weird, because everybody talks to themselves. Everybody has a conversation with themselves. I'm going to make you feel even more better. The other day in the shower, totally pretended to accept an Academy Award with my bottle of soap. I did a full speech. I just did the whole thing. I was thanking people. I was thanking my friends. I was thanking my agent. I was thanking all of these people. in my shower with my shower gel in my hand, holding it like this.
But the shower time is the best time. That's like
the shower time is the best time.
You go sure. To me, I'm in the shower. I sit there. I'm like, this is what I've been thinking about the entire time.
Yes, and honestly, that's where I get most of my TikTok ideas. To be honest.
Well, that's why I do most of my thinking in the shower, and then I'm like, it all makes sense.
Yeah, I think comedy. I think comedy in the shower, and then I go anxiety thinking at night. It's great. It's a good combination.
Yeah, because then you have so much. So you have like so much thinking and so much time. Yes. This is like your time in the shower, right?
Yes.
And then you get out, and then you're like, oh, I have to do things.
Yeah.
And then it's like, this is what you should have been thinking about when you were in the shower instead of thinking about how did they get, like, how can you tell for sure that the world is round? Like everything we've seen.
You're not a flat earther though.
I'm not, but sometimes those flat earthers, they know how to craft a really good argument. Sometimes.
So I think you should know dang well that some people know how to argue, but like most of the time it's a straw man's argument. It's a straw man's argument.
Every single, but then they will sometimes, like my best friend is a flat earther, and when he told me he was, I was like,
wow, yeah.
I was like, you? And he was like, think about it though. And I was like, no. I'm not. I was like, you know what? Say no more. I love you so much.
Yeah.
That I don't want to hear anything
That's
else.
Hilarious. Are there any other conspiracy theories that you might believe that most people don't?
Oh, I believe almost all of them except for aliens.
You don't think aliens exist?
No.
You don't think there's any other life outside of Earth?
No, it's not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible, so I don't believe in it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't. If you're gonna play that card, card with aliens.
That's the best card.
Really? You're gonna use the card right now on aliens? You could have went with any other. Other excuse.
Listen, as a Texan, there's two things. You never leave home without your Bible and your gun. And I never leave home without my Bible and my gun. So anything, it's like someone says something, I'm like, it's not in the Bible. The Bible didn't do it. Russians. The Russians they're all up to something. It's the Russians. They were like, Leo, like, can't be all the Russians. I'm like, yes, the Russians definitely, they planted all those dinosaur bones so that we would be looking at.
You don't believe that.
And
you don't believe that. You don't believe that.
It makes sense. It makes
sense.
Does
it? No. Are you about to pull the whole flat earther thing on me? Like just craft some really witty argument and then I'm going to be like, well, I mean, maybe she's right.
No, not the flat. No, flat earther is ridiculous.
Did we go to the moon?
Carbon dating.
Did we go to the moon?
Yes, we went to the moon.
Okay. I'm just saying some conspiracy theories here. No. But carbon dating. Okay.
So, but yeah, the carbon dating, and you need what's that stuff? Radioactive material in order to carbon date things. Mm-hmm. Who has all the radioactive material? The Russians.
That's your theory, that because the Russians have all of the they don't have all of it, but they have a good bunch of it.
Yeah.
So does the United States of America. But, so does Iran.
Yeah, but have you noticed, like, we find all the dinosaur bones, like, in America, parts of Africa, like places where we, as the smart people, can.
So, I don't think I know how to respond to that. I mean, probably because
I really think that, okay, that's the one conspiracy theory. That's the one conspiracy theory I will say that people will always go, what?
That's
I don't think dinosaurs are real.
You don't think dinosaurs existed at all?
No.
Haven't you seen Jurassic Park? That's a documentary.
Yeah, no, it's not a documentary. It's
not?
No.
What about Jurassic
World? That guy
had
an ascot on the entire movie.
Yeah, but Jeff Goldblum said that they were dinosaurs, so obviously he doesn't lie. Jeff Goldblum wouldn't lie to me, so.
Well, Jeff Goldblum also is just, he's amazing, so.
Yeah, so like if Jeff Goldblum says something is true.
Well, he wasn't in the Jurassic World, so.
He was in the second Jurassic World.
I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, he was in that one for like 30 seconds. Dinosaurs are real because of the movies. It's a documentary. So
yeah, I think that they only because, all right, this is a really good point. Listen.
Okay.
Just listen.
I'm listening.
So all the dinosaur bones that we find, sometimes we find that, and I say we as in museum scientists, all those people, some of them that they do
all those people.
Yeah, I don't find.
So archaeologists. all those people over there.
Archaeologists. That's what they are. Okay.
Yes.
So I went to some seminars and was listening about it, and they're like, well, we don't find all the bones in all together. So sometimes they have to take a bone and then imagine what this other bone might be. So then they make a fake bone to connect it to the arm bone.
And then the arm bone's connected to the shoulder bone.
And then I was like, wait, so y'all don't know how these bones, y'all just assume that they go to the same animal, but they
but here's the thing though. Their assuming is different than our assuming. Their assuming is a lot more educated and precise and strategic.
It is, like I said, with the carbon dating and looking at the minerals and all that kind of stuff. So
all of those facts and figures.
You can, well, for every fact there is a different fact, and then we all end up facting ourselves. So
I think we've learned that over the last 4 years, huh?
Alternative facts.
Alternative facts. Yep.
That has been the best part about being a comedian. Is that for anything that someone says, I can go fake news.
Well, okay, so all right, so I need to ask you something, right? So, and this is all your fault, and I wouldn't normally bring this up, but this is you.
Blame it on the woman, Eve. Yes, Adam did it to Eve. Go ahead.
Okay, all right, fine. Yeah, it's all woman's fault. Let me mansplain it to you, please. Okay, so you in your title you say that you are a conservative, right? Now, this is not me. This is not my mindset. I'm just gonna say what the lamestream media says. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a conception out there that conservatives cannot be funny. Have you heard that? Number one, and number two, is it true? Number three, be funny, conservative.
If you're a conservative person, you can be funny.
Yes.
Period.
But not like. Yes. Okay. Do you think that it's harder for conservative comedians to become popular because they're conservative?
When you're a comedian, it's hard to become popular anyway.
Yes, true. Yes.
So, but I do think being a conservative does make it a little bit harder, because then people assume, oh,
yes,
they're going to say something about their president and, oh, whatever. You know, it's like, but mostly and especially here in Texas, if you start talking to someone, most of us are conservative. We just don't know it yet. It's one of those things I always tell people. I'm like, you're conservative. You just are confused. Like, let's just keep it real. So it's not hard. You just have to know your timing, because with anything, if you're going to perform, you have to be great at it. You can't just decide, okay, and then when you go out there, so when I think one of my favorite jokes, because I went on stage and I was like, you know, I think we need to figure out what our hand signals are for all of these protests, because everyone's doing fisting when some people should be finger banging. And so I think we should designate the fisting. Fisting should just be for the Black Lives Matter, finger banging for the March of Life. And then we have designated, and so everyone thought I was serious just because the tone of voice, but
Yes.
I mean, I'm joking. I'm like, but everyone thought I'm serious. And so the guy that came, the host of the show that came up after me, he was like, did she just say the Black Lives Matter? And I was like, wait, did you just hear me go have a complete set on fisting and finger banging, and you hinged on the Black Lives Matter? I'm like, oh, okay. So that's how it is with like conservatism, and with they only just kind of so people will only hear the like almost the bad stuff for like the fact that they the Black Lives Matter, when it's like, okay, come on.
Sure.
But so no, it's not hard. With everything, you have to do it. You have to know. You have to sell yourself on you before you sell yourself to someone else. So I already know that me coming out and saying I'm a conservative, I'm about to get so much hate. So I just
just let the record show that I am one of those liberal snowflakes, and I think that you're funny.
Well, I can tell you're a liberal snowflake because you're from New Jersey.
Let me tell you, I can tell you right now, New Jersey is like, yes, it is blue, but I mean, there's a lot of sections of New Jersey that are definitely not. Like,
well, even if they aren't blue, the one thing I will say about the East Coast, because I went to school in Connecticut.
Yes.
So the one thing I will say is just people are very like, oh, I'm very East Coast, but then when it comes to like stuff that matters, and all of a sudden you hear they're Jersey or you hear they're Queens, and that's like, wait, I thought you were like nice. And it's like, hey, you're gonna come over this bridge, come, all that kind of stuff, and a whole new element comes out. So I've always enjoyed, that's the one thing I'll say about the East Coast, is like everything is all hunky-dory,
right,
until someone tries to come and mess with your stuff.
Sure.
Like,
are there any misconceptions about conservatives that you deal with that you're like, no, that is not true, that's just dumb?
I don't know, as soon as anyone, I could tell you the amount of names I've been called, is because as soon as I say I'm conservative, is that we're stupid.
Stupid, really?
Yeah,
okay.
We're stupid, that we don't vote for our own interests. Okay. That everything Trump does is perfect. That we're all gun-toting, Bible-loving, single people.
Conservatives aren't as single as in like not married?
No, that's just me. That stereotype is. But not all conservatives go to church, but I do. So
I think a lot of conservatives go to church.
No, there's a lot. You can be. I met a conservative atheist one time, and I was like, huh.
A conservative atheist, interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, what's going on there? And like, I don't want my government telling me what to do with my worship. And I was like, oh, okay, you're one of us. You're just different. It's like a different fight. So so there's, the thing is like with each category of conservative and liberal, and you know this, how living in the East Coast, is that everyone is so different within their conservative or libertarian or liberal. So on my conservative, I can always tell you it's very a three-year-old spoiled child's view of conservatism. Never ever tell me what to do. That's it.
That's fair. No,
that's it. And so people are always like, what? They're like, but what about? It's like, never ever tell me what to do. Just tell me when to pay my taxes. That's it. So that's how I explain it to people. But if you really it's more so libertarian, like focus on home. Our government shouldn't be that big. Every single thing that's happening, the government should not be in all of our business. Like,
Mm-hmm.
So it's
okay.
Yeah. So
Fair,
I would say that.
fair enough. Fair enough. And by the way, I'm only asking just out of pure curiosity. Obviously, I think if this was a different setting, I'd be like, oh yeah, well let me tell you my liberal mindset, you
No,
conservative.
I have been on a few radio shows, and they call me just because I'm the only conservative person that they know, and they
I know a
go,
lot.
let's just call Leola, and I'm like, I'm like, it's the fight for something. And I'm like in my car going, you can do this. You can do this.
Yes, in your car on your federally funded roads with those stoplights and those speed limits, those things that the government tells us to do to keep us all safe, and wearing seat belts.
But Texans say that's just a suggestion.
That's my one dig. That's my one dig. That's all. I'll keep it. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
Look at our numbers in Texas in terms of the coronavirus. Like obviously, we took everything as a suggestion.
It's up there. It's up there.
Yeah.
Because I've wanted to visit Texas, because I have, number one, I have friends out there. I have another friend, obviously, that I need to come visit. But also because I like theme parks and roller coasters, and I need to go to Six Flags Over Texas and Six Flags Fiesta Texas and a bunch of SeaWorld San Antonio, all these other places that I can't go to because your state is just, you said about Jersey, you said it just as Florida. Yeah, I said it. Let's fight.
I mean, I could have sworn that we weren't going to go there.
I know. We did say we weren't going to go there. Well, but we already went there, and then we retracted, and then I brought it back, and I'm retracting again. Yes.
I'll let you have that one.
Thank you.
Only because Six Flags Fiesta Texas is in San Antonio. So really, you said Fiesta Texas and Six Flags San Antonio.
No, I said SeaWorld San Antonio.
Oh, well then I wasn't even listening. Whoops. Oh wait, no, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot. Okay, but it's really hot. The only thing is, we'll just say like count your start. So thank you, Texas, for being not doing anything. Being very upset. Very upset. I was one of those people. I was like, how dare they? This is Texas. They can't tell us what to do. And then I'm like, how dare they? They're closing down the stores again. Just wear your face mask. But in all seriousness, I was like, my parents had a strict rule. Face mask, social distancing. If you don't do it, you can't come over. And I was like, all right.
Fair enough.
I was like, all right.
So the other part of your title that you have in there is femininity-ist. What does that mean?
Okay, so don't get mad. So I love being a woman, right? And a lot of I feel like when it comes to the feminist wave, there's this thing of like, we want to be equal. I don't want to be equal to a man. I don't want anyone to treat me like they would a man. Now, if I were working, I would want to be paid equal pay for equal work. That's for that in that respect.
So where's the line? Where's the line there? Where do you say, like, at what point do you say, I don't want to be treated the same way as a man?
Oh, with everything. Like I'm a mom. Like I chose to be a mom. I chose to stay at home. And if I wanted to work, I should be I want to work. But at the same time, I know that what I can do with my body and what men can do with their bodies, completely different.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. From an anatomy standpoint, of course.
Well, yeah. It's like almost like we're two different, like sexes and stuff like that.
Right.
It's amazing. Like, y'all don't have this like monthly crazy person thing. I was
no, we don't have that thing. No.
I was like,
could you imagine? Could you imagine if men had that?
And I'm so happy y'all don't. Because I'm always like, the whole thing is like, no, I want this to be mine.
Yes.
Like, I think when they changed the packaging on sanitary napkins, and now they're like, I was like, they're just taking everything from us. I want a girls section. I want Barbies. I don't want a boy at the American Girl store. It's American Girl, like, you know, all of these.
So that's what you're saying. You're saying that.
Yeah.
But once again, where's the line?
Well,
right?
the line for me is just we each kind of dictate how we're supposed to be treated.
Yes.
And I've always been, and this is more so of a Southernism, but anything else, but I've always when I walk into a place or I'm just the way I'm treated, I don't, like I say, I don't want to be treated equally to a man. Like, watch your mouth when you're around me. Please do not cuss in front of me.
I see what you're saying. So it's more of like being you want to be treated as a lady, as in like
as a lady. Well, I guess it's as a lady. I would be a better way of putting it, because not just a woman, just as a lady.
Right.
So and that's why I feel like somehow we've kind of gotten away from that. And I want to be able, like,
chivalry.
If a dude punches me, I want to be like, he punched me for no reason. Yes, I called his mother that, but he can't hit me. So I just feel like because when you say where is the line, the line is kind of being blurred as well on the other way. So it's like, if you all want to be treated the same, then that means a guy can come punch you in the face and you can't say he shouldn't do it because you're a woman. So it goes both ways.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
A lot of people, when I make sure I make that distinction way in the beginning, because a lot of folks won't. A lot of folks will, like how you're like, make that make sense, and I'm like,
no, it's not that. In my head, it's not like a make it make sense, woman. Like it's more of like just like legit pure curiosity as to where it is appropriate and when it's not. You know,
I get, the only thing is everyone deserves to be paid this, like, if it's equal work, equal pay, like that should never even be an issue.
Right.
But I have breasts, and really beautiful breasts, and so when I walk around, I want to use my boobs in order to get in or out of trouble. So that's my femininity-ist. So it's like, no, if I'm walking around with a crop top and like you see a little bit of underboob, I don't want people to go, oh, I'm not looking. I'm like, no, please look. I have these, and I'm walking around like this for a reason. I want you to look at my boobs. So that's why that's my femininity-ist. So that's why I say it's not really feminism, because a lot of women will tell me, will say, and I've had a lot of women say to me, you're actually bringing us backward. I think this was something so little as like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and people are like, what? Why? And I'm like, why not? Do you people like working?
No, I see. I'm not going to respond to the boob part. I'll let you have that one, because I am being a gentleman. Will you stop it? Will you stop it?
Sorry.
This isn't TikTok.
I was just making sure my necklace, you could see my necklace.
I can't. I am a gentleman. I am a gentleman. Right. So I will not respond.
Yeah, I'm a lady. I have not seen your shirtless Instagram, Mr. Oh, just going to the gym. Oh, I'm just really sweaty. I'm like, man, you know that every single woman in the world doesn't see those pearly whites and the 6-ish pack, and then and then the hair. I think you have chest hair, so it's like every woman's gonna stop and go, huh? It exists. Okay. I'm like, it's a thirst trap. It's a thirst trap.
First of all, I have never said, oh, going to the gym, I'll be right back with no shirt on. Any picture that I take, it's a progress pic, because I am on a workout regimen. I need to be held accountable.
Every single progress pic, which I've always been like, because I haven't been following you for that long. So I think one day I went on when like TikTok was going to be banned the first time. So I went on your Instagram, and so I was like, oh, you can actually see a difference. Like his body, the muscles are more defined. So that you can see like but then I was like, no, that here is a thirst trap. No, that picture right there, thirst trap.
I wasn't
like
expecting to be called out today.
If you're like this, you're like
it's all about the angle, that's all.
And that's why I tell people all the time, it's like you can make yourself wonderful in any angle. Just do not I hate this when people use their phone in their phone.
No, that's dumb. Like, my mom does that sometimes. I'm like, Mom, no. Bring it up. No,
that's why I
on an angle. And I know which side is a good side, and like I know my angles.
I had to teach my dad because he was and I know we didn't talk too much about it. My dad he's my hero.
Yeah. Well, just because I also we mentioned this before, we don't want to pound this point in, but I do want to mention that your father is. Can I mention it?
Yeah. No. Okay. Can I say it? I want to.
You can say it. No. Who is your father?
Okay. So anyway. No, you can say it. No, I'm saying he's my hero. He really is. And I think we have that in common. You said my dad's the best person ever. And my dad's George Foreman, boxer, grill guy, just everything. So he's the reason why I decided to stay sober. So at first I got outed. I got outed about my drinking, and my dad was in Germany. And he was like, I don't want to see you for 30 days. And I was like, come over here every day. And he was like, don't want to see you. And I was like, damn. But then after those 30 days and then 60 days, and I realized how much he matters to me and how much it was that he's gone through so much in life that I was like, I would sit down with him and like, he'd go, get my book. I have a part of my book. He's like, this is you have a question? Get my book. And he said to you one day, he's like, I never thought that when I was writing this book, I was writing it for my daughter. And I was like, oh, that means I'm so messed up in life that I'm doing the same mistakes you did before you found God. And then now, you already wrote a book for it.
But it's nice that you get to see him, like he gets to be your hero and supporter. Like I've seen your Instagrams. And by the way, when we first met, I had no idea.
Yeah, and I forget that no one knows. Yeah.
I had no idea because I didn't like stalk you or anything. So we're like chatting or whatever, and then you're like, yeah, I was hanging out with my dad, and then you sent me a picture of you and your dad, and I was like, wait, pause. What?
You have to imagine like in my years, mind you, I think my life is normal.
Sure.
So when people are like, they'll go, what? And I'm like, wait, oh, my bad, whoops. And I was like, because in my mind, it's just like, oh, my dad's my best friend. Okay. They're like, oh, what are you doing? I'm on the conference call with my dad. And they're like, oh, conference call for what? Some type of commercial? I don't know. So, but I was saying when he was on TMZ the other day, I always get so mad at him because they'll call on TMZ if I'm not there, because I'm always like, if you're going to be on your phone, can you put it like this? And he's like, but I can't see it. I'm like, it does not matter. I was like, you do not. Well, I was like, you want to do this, and then I'm like, where's the lights? Find your light. And he's always just like, Lil, you're doing too much. And like the other day, he was like, man, Leola, you have gotten so good at this. And I was like, it's kind of like I spend every single day with you, almost.
Does he take your advice when you give it to him about the camera angles?
Yeah, no, I mean, finally he has. So he'll go, tell Leola, he'll call my mom and he'll tell Leola, get over here. I don't know how to do this. And I'm like, I've taught you this. He's like, I'm just so stupid. I was like, no, you're not. That is just, and then he's like, you're right. And I'm always just like, wait, how did this turn from you being my motivator to I'm your motivator? But we spend so much time together.
Sure.
That all we do is just bounce ideas off of one another. And
Right.
I think that has really gotten us both, and us, I mean, really my whole family throughout this really weird time, is that my dad and I, we constantly talk, and whatever's on our mind or whatever we're thinking, especially when it comes to faith and hopelessness. I was like, I told him, I was like, I wish I can get you and just bring you all over the world, and everyone would be so much happier.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, done that. I'm like,
but then you're supposed to be like, no, but you didn't do it with me. I want to take you.
That's what I said.
I want to take you.
That's what I was like, but it's different now. I'm here.
Yeah.
He's like, not with your tight dresses, not going anywhere. I'm a preacher, Leola. And
Well,
like,
you did say that you walk around with your boobies out, so.
And then can you imagine? And I get uninvited some places when I'm with my dad.
Well, you are more than welcome to come visit New Jersey. Are you gonna come visit?
Oh yeah. Well, how far is New Jersey from New Hampshire?
I'm not gonna. You're supposed to say yes. Is what you're supposed to say.
Yes, of course I'm gonna come and visit you.
I said I would come visit you, and then all of a sudden I invite you to New Jersey, and you're like,
you know what?
I'm doing something that day.
No, actually, you know what? As I think about it, something that you posted, and I was like, that's New Jersey? I was really surprised on how not ugly it was.
New Jersey is gorgeous.
I was surprised.
New Jersey is gorgeous. It has everything. It has major cities if you want to be in a city. If you want to go to the beach, we have the best coast. Yes, I said it.
Sure. Oh,
yes.
That's in New Jersey. Oh, okay.
The TV show was in one. That's not the Jersey Shore. Like I can say that right now.
Yes. I'm telling you, the only thing I thought of when I was thinking of New Jersey was just the airport. Like that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Newark Airport does not count.
That was it. So
that does not count.
That just should tell you like what people think of New Jersey, because like,
oh my gosh, there's really a little bit of everything. If you want forests, we have lakes, we have oceans, we have cities, we have urban areas, whatever.
You're bringing that out. You're bringing that out with your social media, because I really was like, that can't be Jersey, and Jersey's not that pretty. And I was like, oh, okay.
Jersey's gorgeous. Yeah. It is gorgeous. If I showed you the outside of my window right now, you'd be like, oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah, no, I think I saw it on Instagram. Wait, y'all aren't quarantined?
No, we are. New Jersey's super quarantined.
Oh, no, because I'm saying, like, you can't travel from certain places. They put, like, I think.
Correct. Yeah, so, like, if I were to come to Texas and then come back, I would have to quarantine for 14 days. So, like the hot spots from New Jersey's perspective are Florida, Arizona, Texas, and I think that's those are the main ones. Yeah.
That's crazy. Well,
I know.
I would all the way risk it to come up there to see you.
You're full of crap. You're full of crap. I don't believe you at all. No, come visit. Come visit. Come visit. We'll go to AC.
I will. I said I would all the way for you.
Yes, and then let's go to the beach. We'll go to the beach, all right?
Jersey Shore. Yeah.
We'll go to a beach. We're not going to where the Jersey Shore is filmed, but we'll go to another beach that I like.
Y'all have nude beaches?
We do have nude beaches up north.
I am ready. Count me in.
Really? The first time we hang out is going to be at a nude beach?
Haven't you ever seen the people, like, when you're new the first time you hang out with someone, then it's so disarming. So that's like.
I was thinking like lunch.
And I would go, no.
I was thinking like, let's grab coffee or something.
No, it's like, no, let's just go, let's walk around nude and look at me. What? Don't pretend it's here. Yeah.
I've never looked at you that way before, ever.
No, I'm saying that would be funny though.
I know, but like that it's like there was a show called Dating Naked where like the first time, like they're just nude the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I would be so insecure, but I would be like, at least I'm not by myself.
That's fair. That's fair. If you were the only one naked and everybody else was clothed, then it'd be like, ooh, this is weird.
It was like, oh yeah, do I hug you? Don't eat you. Oh,
I can't. Hey, I'm so happy that we got to sit and chat. You are a joy. I'm glad that you with your gun toting, Bible thumping ways forced me to do this. You know, as ransom, and I completely. Am I free now? Am I free to?
You are free. Actually, I took over in the whole hour from you. So
I like how we said, yeah, we'll talk for like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
60 minutes later.
Oh. I was like, that's so cute that he thinks that he thinks he controls that.
No, I appreciate you. And if people want more LeeMariahRose, where can they find you?
Well, of course, there's Instagram, which my name is LeeMariahRose on Instagram.
I'm gonna put it down at the bottom as well, so people can follow.
So that's just Instagram, and then LeeMariahRose also on YouTube. So when I care to edit, I post, but editing is just not your girl Lee's thing. So yeah, so that's if you want more of me, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all LeeMariahRose. Nice.
Are we friends on Facebook?
No, we're not.
Can we be? Can you request me, please?
Yes, it's your thing is it's this thing right here.
Well, yeah, Kyrus Keenan Westcott. You can either follow my page or you can like request me as a friend.
I feel like it told me that the other day that someone that you might know has a new page or something like that. Because I was like,
yeah, if you go, yeah, you can follow my page, The Vibe with Kai, or I'm giving you permission because I don't normally just friend people. I'm giving you permission to be my friend on the Facebook.
Oh, on the Facebook.
On the Facebook, yes.
Yes, and well, I sent you a friend request. That's not. Oh, thank you so much. Likes football.
Boom. Wait a second, and it is official. Request accepted. Boom. Awesome. It's official. Now you can't get rid of me.
Okay, so I will be going through and figuring out everything about you, including who your mother is, making sure I have everything to, because you know what I do is make sure that you have bribable material.
It's not on my Facebook, I'll tell you that. I'm an angel on Facebook.
And then that's the thing about Facebook is like all of us know now.
Yeah. Yeah, most of my Facebook friends, they have probably not seen my Instagram or my TikToks. They probably have no idea. They have no idea. I think
on TikTok, I'm so happy that I actually people don't find me on TikTok because I'm like, oh, I can literally do whatever I want.
Yes.
So I'm always like, it's like 2 people see it. I'm like, yes.
Well, look, I'm so happy we got to sit and chat, and you are a blessing. You are a joy. I look forward to continuing our little friendship here. I'm enjoying this. Keep having me around, please.
Oh, well, you keep having me around. I love to watch, and I love the growth. By the way, because I was like, you really doing something cool?
I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I just want to have fun.
Something. I think you started. You could tell that you started at someplace that was not so positive, and then now you're taking what you've learned through that and then giving it to other people, and that's the entire point of social media, in my opinion, is to share our stories, but turn it around where we can give it to someone else.
Yes,
you're not supposed to keep it. You're supposed to bring them. You have to help others.
Amen.
So
absolutely.
That's what I do. So that's why I was like, oh, this is someplace I need to be. Yeah.
No, I'm so happy that we're friends, and I'm looking forward to learning more about you and coming to visit Texas. If y'all will have me.
Once we get our life together, and also after you're done with your diet, and
I'm not dieting. I'm just working out on a strict.
I know, but then once you get there, like where you can. Like where you want to be, and then go for like 5-day break.
Yes.
Then gobble everything up from Austin to Houston. I mean,
I'm in.
Yeah, because your friend's in Austin, so I'm saying
yes.
we can definitely make it work with just
those 2 places. I'm holding you to this. So.
And you always have a place.
Yes, I'm holding you to this. So.
No, you got it.
Friends, this is LeeMariahRose. If you want more of her, you can follow her down on the thing that I'm putting right down there. And if you want more of me, you can follow me on my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on Snapchat and TikTok at Kyrus Keenan. Or you can visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting things that'll make you feel good, do good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. LeeMariahRose, thank you so much for being here. Everybody else, goodbye. Good vibes.